So there's a trend on YouTube right now that I need to address directly. There are so many content creators, teaching people, with small accounts to run the wheel strategy on leveraged ETFs, TQQQ, SQQQ, SOXL, as a way to generate outsized premium returns with limited capital. And trust me, I know that pitch is seductive. High implied volatility, high premiums, low share price. Sounds like the perfect setup for a small account, right? Trying to, grow fast. It's not. And the people most attracted to this approach, I hate to say this, are the ones who can least afford to learn these lessons the hard way. So let me explain what these instruments actually are, because most people who trade them, they don't even fully understand the mechanics at all, right? So TQQQ, 3 times leverage ETF designed to deliver 3 times the daily return of the Nasdaq 100. SOXL does the same thing for the semiconductor index. SQQQ is the inverse. It delivers 3 times the opposite of the Nasdaq's daily move. These are not long-term investment vehicles, okay? They are short-term trading instruments built for specific tactical uses by professional traders who understand how daily rebalancing works and how it affects a position, over the course of time. The key word is daily. These funds reset leverage every single day. That means they don't deliver 3 times the Nasdaq's return over a week, a month, or a year. They deliver 3 times the return on each individual day, then reset. Over time, the daily compounding creates what's called volatility decay or beta slippage. In a choppy or declining market, a 3x leveraged ETF doesn't just lose 3 times more than the index. It loses more than that, sometimes dramatically more, because of how the math actually works when a leverage resets compounds through a series of down days. That's not a risk you manage by picking a good strike price on a put, okay? It's a totally structural feature of how this instrument itself works. So here's the framework problem with using leverage ETFs as, a wheel strategy candidate, right? The entire logic of the wheel strategy depends on a core assumption, okay? That if you're assigned on a put, you own something you are now comfortable holding. The covered call phase, right? Now we move to that. We generate income on top of assigned positions, but it only works if the underlying asset can hold its value while you're waiting for the strike price to actually be reached, right? Think about it. Leverage ETFs violate that assumption structurally. They are not designed to be held, right? Their daily rebalancing mechanism causes their value to literally erode in volatile sideways markets, even when the underlying index goes nowhere, right? TQQQ can lose 50, 60, or 70% of its value in a drawdown period, while the Nasdaq itself loses way less. We saw this in 2022. Nasdaq declined roughly 33%, TQQQ declined over 80%. If you're assigned on a TQQQ put during a drawdown like that, you're not waiting for the stock to recover, okay? You're holding an instrument whose structure is working against you even on neutral days. You can sell covered calls every week and still watch the value of your position erode faster than the premium you're collecting from it. That's not a bad trade. That's a broken trade, okay? So let's talk about the most common mistake with TQQQ. TQQQ is the one I see pushed most aggressively in options content, right? It's usually aimed at those small accounts. The implied volatility is really high. The options chain is liquid and the share price is low enough that, contracts are accessible for, those people that have very small accounts. Now, what that content doesn't explain, in a 20% decline in the Nasdaq, TQQQ doesn't drop 60%. It drops more than 60% because of how path dependency works with the daily reset leverage. A 33% decline followed by a 33% recovery doesn't get you back to where you started when leverage is literally resetting every day. The math is asymmetric and it works against the holder. Okay, so anyone who got assigned on TQQQ puts in 2021 and held through 22 experienced this firsthand. The covered calls they sold on top of an assigned position did not come close to offsetting the decay of the underlying, right? The premium strategy became a slow bleed on a very fast declining asset. SOXL, right? Sector concentration times 3. SOXL is 3 times leverage on semiconductors. If TQQQ is high risk, SOXL is higher. Semiconductors are one of the most volatile sectors in the equity markets. Earnings swings, are large. Supply chain events, they're unpredictable, obviously, and the cycle from peak to trough can be fast and brutal. NVIDIA can drop literally 20% on a single earnings report. Applied Materials can gap down 15% on a guidance cut, right? When you add 3x leverage on top of an already volatile sector and own it through assignment, those moves are amplified in a way that the premium you collect does not absorb whatsoever. And the people teaching SOXL strategies are selecting for the high volatility periods where premiums look richest. They're not showing you what happens when the position, 6 months into a semiconductor downturn. Those aren't the videos that get made, okay? And let's talk about SQQQ, why inverse leverage ETFs are even worse, right? If anything, running the wheel on an inverse leverage ETF is more fundamental mistake than running it on a honestly bull leveraged ETF, right? SQQQ is designed to deliver 3 times the inverse of Nasdaq's daily return. It is a hedging instrument. Its entire purpose is to decay in value over time in any market where the Nasdaq is flat or rising. SQQQ trends towards zero through volatility decay. It is not a stock. It has no business. It produces absolutely no earnings, no dividend pays. There's no intrinsic value to recover to, okay? If you're assigned on SQQQ puts, you own absolutely nothing, right? Long term, right? No amount of covered call premiums, changes that. You are on literally a treadmill that moves backwards, and it's obviously by design. So here's the core issue with the content pushing these strategies, okay? The people making it are optimizing for the most impressive looking backtest in a very favorable environment. High premiums, quick assignments, fast recovery, clean results. What they're not showing is a scenario where it breaks, which is the scenario you need to plan on before you enter any position at all. The wheel strategy works when you own businesses or funds that have a durable value, not instruments designed to decay. The premium you collect is compensation for the risk that you might have to own the underlying. If the underlying is structurally broken as a long-term hold, the premium is not worth the compensation. It's a small payment for taking on outsized and insane amounts of loss. Small accounts don't recover from an 80% drawdown on a leveraged ETF, right? They just don't. The math just doesn't work. A $5,000 account that loses $4,000 on a TQQQ assignment needs to return 400% just to get back to where it started. That's not a rough patch. That's an account that's effectively over. Blown. The reason this matters, especially for small accounts, is that small accounts have no cushion. A larger account, it can absorb a bad position, right? They can learn from it and they can move on, right? A small account running leverage ETF, wheel strategies is literally one bad drawdown away from literally starting over. The risk to reward ratio is inverted, and the content that pushes this approach rarely acknowledges that clearly. Go look, right? The wheel strategy is a disciplined conservative income approach when it's applied to the right underlying assets, right? Applied to leverage ETFs, it becomes speculation dressed in systematic clothing, all right? So one question for the comments I have for you. Have you been tempted by the leverage ETF, or have you tried running the leverage ETF? I genuinely want to hear what the actual experience looked like for you, okay? I want to see what your reality is. And if you want to see how the wheel strategy works on actual quality businesses with actual good fundamentals where the premium is earned and the risk is actually understood, the Ark Options Workshop walks you through the entire full system. Scalable, built for busy professionals, not full-time traders. The first link in the description will take you there. And at the end, I give you some free stuff, my trade lock templates and my 2 premium calculators. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.